Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast, presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe.
And he's back.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
Round 2 of Sir Stickley.
One of my favorite interviews was the first interview with Jon Stickley, and had to have him back on the podcast, and he delivered.
Yeah.
Another great interview with Jon, and a great week for All Jammed Up this week. We got a busy week, a lot going on, a lot of good music.
I'm excited to jump into the back half of this week.
Yeah, we'll have some good content coming out of that too, interviews-wise. We got Dogs in a Pile Wednesday and Thursday here at Asheville Music Hall with Natalie Brooke. Friday and Saturday, Mental Awakening in Atlanta. And then Sunday, Chords for Callum, which will completely cover that with Jon in this interview now, what that is, how important it is, and how fun of a day it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You went to the one last year, and I believe I was working that day and didn't get to go, so I'm excited.
I don't think I went last year.
I thought you did.
I don't think so.
Oh, there was something. I'll think of it.
I went to a it was for Datrian Johnson.
That's what
I went for that. Yeah.
Got. Sorry, guys. Wrong information here.
And then the first round of voting is all wrapped up for the Billy Strings bracket. We'll cover that on the back end a little bit. So 32 remaining.
Not too surprised by the results, I would say.
Yeah, we have it right here hidden from you guys from plain sight.
We're keeping it a secret.
So we'll go over all that. I say, though, let's just go ahead and get right into it with Mr. Jon Stickley.
Honey, you're listening to some All Jammed Up.
All right, guys, we're here today with Jon Stickley. One of my favorite interviews. Even
Nice.
That was like, what, a year ago?
Yeah.
Still holds one of my favorite interviews.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And a lot. I think I texted you, but that lady, some lady at Halloween came up to me and she was like, "You guys do the All Jammed Up. My favorite episodes with Jon Stickley."
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, you've had some good ones too. I follow you. So,
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Well, when you do 2 a week, there's got to be a couple good ones sprinkled in there somewhere.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot. I didn't know you did that many.
Yeah, it stays pretty. I started it and I was like, I'm just gonna do 1 a week. And then when I started it, I got like really excited. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna do 2. And then now it's like, I've been doing 2 for so long, it's like I just gotta stick with it at this point.
Great. Awesome. We need that content.
Yeah, man. How have things been going for you?
Things have been good. Yeah, we're just looking forward to kind of getting a little busier with music and stuff after the long winter. And it's like winter kind of drug on this year. Our first gig back, we were supposed to play up in Virginia January 31st, and that was the weekend we had the big snow.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't even get out of my driveway, so had to cancel our first gig back at it. And we're just kind of easing into everything now and coming off the big the Billy week. That was pretty epic.
That was a big week for you. You had a lot going on that week,
It
right?
was. I've just recovered.
Yeah.
I've been worn out from that week until like yesterday.
It was a long week. It was like, because last year I only did the last 3 shows because we had just did New Orleans, and I was like, I can't afford 9 shows in 2 months.
Yeah, dude.
So we just did 1 weekend, and this year we did all 4 days. Of course, like after parties. I had a pre-party with French Broad that we did, and then like the Lot podcast. And I was working my job, so it was like, this is like the best weekend, but the worst weekend like ever at the same time.
Because you were podcasting from the Lot.
I did. I did it on Tuesday and Friday, just out there.
Cool.
And those are always like, they're a blast. It's better in Asheville because I know a lot of people, but like when we do it in like Huntsville, or I did it in Charleston, and it's like you don't know a lot of people and you have to convince them to come do it. And then like keep a conversation with a stranger. It's like I finish and I'm like, I don't even want to go to the show anymore. Like I'm like exhausted. Yeah, it takes a lot of mental.
Yeah, it was the busiest week I've ever had in town. Like I've never played. So I did 1, 2, 3 shows, and then went to Billy, the last night. So that was a lot for me.
And you were up there for quite a bit. The second night too, or the last night.
The
too,
last
right?
night, yeah, that was kind of like happened on the fly, so I was pretty excited about that. We really just went to hang and have fun that night, and we had such a great time. And then Billy said, we were just back at set break, and he was like, "You want to play the encore?" And I was like, "I would love to. That would be great."
That's awesome. I went to Nashville the weekend after, and like the vibe at an Asheville show and the vibe in downtown Nashville, like on Broadway, is just like two different worlds.
Night and day, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was like, it was very overwhelming. Like the Bridgestone Arena, first of all, it fits like almost 3 times as many people as Asheville.
Yeah, right.
And he sold that out, whatever, like
Dude.
both nights.
Wild.
But in Asheville, you have like, I was talking to people who are like not in this like world, and they're like, why is half the people out there have their finger up? And then you go to Nashville, and it's like, there might be like 5 to 10 people out there holding fingers up.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different world out there.
I imagine so,
You
Very
did
different city.
You did a lot of the Billy Week shows with Larry Keel though, right?
So we just did the first night.
Okay.
So that was my birthday. We played the after show at Asheville Music Hall.
Okay.
And man, it was fun. They brought a cake out for me and everything. And playing with Larry is just like one of my favorite things to do ever. So it was a great birthday present for me.
Yeah,
I had a ball.
Tell me a little about Larry Keel, because I just interviewed this guy the other day, DJ Roller. He's a mandolin player from Richmond.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of that.
Yeah, he was like, Larry Keel is my Billy Strings. Like Larry Keel has like been doing this for so long. Like he was talking so highly about Larry Keel, and I just see Larry Keel's name like on different flyers a lot with like you, I feel like, and I feel like with Keller Williams, I see his name a lot too.
Yeah, they've got a project, Keller and the Keels.
Gotcha.
So they do a lot. Yeah.
Has he been like in this world for like a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he, back in I want to say the early 90s, was in a band called McGraw Gap.
Okay.
And they were out of Virginia. And they were kind of like the young, hot bluegrass band from Virginia back in the day. And a lot of the members of it have gone on to do really cool stuff. Danny Nicely and
That was another person he was talking
Will
about.
Lee. So a lot of history there. I think they won the Telluride Bluegrass Band contest or something. And then Larry won the Telluride flat picking contest. So that was kind of like their kind of entrance onto the scene. And then Larry was also, really good friends with Mark Van, who became the original banjo player for Leftover Salmon.
Okay.
There's a lot of connection and history there, but Larry has just been doing that ever since, McGraw Gap broke up. He's been doing the Larry Keel Band, and that's been going since probably the mid 90s, I would guess. And he's just been touring and playing ever since. And he's a big part of the scene. Despite maybe not being as recognizable as you might think, but was a huge influence on me growing up. And, I used to go see his shows, and then later got to know him a little better. We would jam, at after parties and stuff like that. And then my best friend, Andy Thorne, who is now the banjo player for Leftover, he when he quit our band, Broke Mountain, that we had back in the day, he went to play with Larry for a couple of years.
Okay.
And so I got to know Larry pretty well through that connection. And yeah, he's just like one of the best songwriters. I mean, he writes these really, really like deep, beautiful songs. And he's still doing that like to this day. And so he's written a lot of classic tunes. He's one of my favorite guitar players. He's just a down home, good person.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I could just go on and on. So the fact that now we have this duo project, and we released an EP last year and are doing a handful of shows this year, it's just like one of my favorite things that's ever, come to fruition. So
Is he singing in that one? Do you guys sing in that one?
Yeah, we sing a lot together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I sing, he sings. Our whole deal, like the idea behind it, is to keep it pretty kind of old school.
Yeah.
Like some of our favorite albums are like Blake and Rice, Norman Blake and Tony Rice records, where they just stripped it down and did like the classics and kept it very acoustic. And so that's kind of what we're going for, is like something like that.
So you sing in like other projects, just not in the trio.
Yeah. And I've always sang and stuff, but The trio, when the trio just took shape, we decided to go an instrumental direction because of like the material that we were coming up with and stuff.
Okay.
It just was less about sing-songy bluegrass and stuff, and a little more about kind of exploring the instrumental side of things. And that was just, it just felt right and still does. So,
Do you guys ever do covers in which you'll sing, or is the show strictly just trio stuff?
The trio is all instrumental. We do some covers, but we
it's
do
still instrumental.
They're all instrumental. Yeah.
How much, like, when you're writing a song that has no lyrics, like, how much, when you play it, how much of it is improv?
So the trio, our process is, it used to be a lot more improv than it is now. There was a lot of looseness and kind of just not really knowing what was going to happen. And over the years, we kind of refined that a little bit so that we've developed a structure for the song, and there's a format, and within that format and structure, there is space for improv. So it's like, you know, we'll play this part together, we'll play this part together, and then this part C, will be a long open part where we know that the soloist is just going to go wherever they want, and we try to follow along. And then there's a signal to get out of it to go to the next part.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more understanding of what is actually going to happen than there used to be.
Okay. When you do, like, I went to the Travis Book and Friends that was like right around Christmas, and there was like 8 of you guys on stage at one point.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's the like improv? Because especially if it's like not guys you're playing with a bunch, how do you guys know like when to go, when to stop? Is there one person that's like kind of the leader?
Yeah. So in a lot of cases, the person who's leading the song would be kind of the leader. Say, you know, it's a song that I picked to bring to the jam, and it's going to be John Hardy or whatever. And so I'll say, you know, you're going to kick this song off, and then I'll sing, and then we'll pass around solos. Passing around solos is just like someone goes, and then they kind of look up when they're done. And, you know, if I was leading the song, I look at, you know, the next person, say, hey, it's your turn.
Yeah.
You go. And then there's a lot of like on the fly communication. And sometimes we just talk to each other on stage. It's like, okay, I'm going to sing now. You know, you don't have to hide it that much.
That place is cool, but it's like I sat outside, so I was like behind you guys, and it was like we were like there, but not even there, just looking at the back of everybody.
Yeah. We try when we play there, because one of the best parts about it is that there's that outdoor crowd.
Yeah.
You know, that like makes it awesome. So I try to give love to the outdoor folks and turn around and play to them as much as I can, because otherwise the view is just not that great.
You guys had a really good one on this Tuesday.
Yeah, this Tuesday was great.
How was that?
It was one of the most fun that I've ever done. So Maddie Denton and Harry Clark, 2 members of East Nashgrass.
Yeah.
I've known Harry a long time, but it was my first time meeting Maddie. And so, she just won Fiddle Player of the Year at the IBMA. And they are so good.
He's funny. I've met
They're
that.
so fun and so good and just such great people. It was just like, I felt so lucky to be playing music with them. And of course, with my brother Travis. That music just played itself, man. It was and singing with them and harmonizing and just listening to them play and be on stage, man. It was just totally great.
Now that I've had all 3 of you guys on the podcast, I can feel I can ask this question. Who got the haircut first between you, Travis, or Tommy?
You know what? I think it might have been me, honestly. You know, I kind of am a trendsetter when it comes to hair. It's getting a little thin up top, so I'm letting it grow down a little longer. But so it was during the pandemic when me and Travis really started experimenting. With the self-done mohawk and mullet cut look. And so, he's really taken it there a couple times. And then, Tommy's right behind us too. So.
My buddy who I brought to the Christmas jam, he had never like seen any of you guys before. And he was like, when Tommy was up there, he was like, who do you think got the haircut first? I was like, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
You mentioned things are kind of slow. You know, we're going into the busy season. Next week you got spring reunion.
Yeah, spring reunion, one of the best weekends of the year every year.
Yeah, is that I know a lot of festivals. You're just kind of like you go to your show, you're good, you're in and out. For a place like that, are you kind of there the whole weekend, like participate in all the festivities, or is it still kind of the same in and out?
Not as much as we used to. That used to be the festival. Like we'd show up Wednesday and leave Monday every single time. But since having kids and stuff, me and especially our drummer Hunter too, he's got a little one that just he's like 9 months old or something. So we are a little more in and out than we used to be, but because we are there overnight, we're there for 2 days. We do usually try to get out and do some picking in the campground late night and, or even during the day and just see all our friends and jam it up a little bit and always try to sit in with our friends who are playing and stuff too. So yeah, it's just, it's a real family thing. And that festival is really cool because, every festival has their bands that kind of set the theme and the vibe that are kind of like repeat customers, and they've really done that with the Swanee reunion and the fall. Wait, what is it? Roots reunion and Roots revival and spring reunion.
Yeah. And then there's the Amp Jam that was like last week.
Amp Jam looked great.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. So there's there's a lot of continuity between those festivals, and we're glad to be kind of one of the staple bands that's always there, that people can say, hey, look, the trio's going to be there, and they'll be sitting in and playing with everybody. And then of course they bring in a lot of different great bands.
Are you guys in the Toe Down one this year?
I almost was artist at large again, but it's kind of slipped out from under me on that one.
Is that one kind of the same vibe? I plan to go to that one this year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to play there I want the trio to play there so bad next year. I was artist at large for 1 day last year, and it was my first time ever going, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to do this every year. So I've been in touch with Steve, and he's got me on the list. So hopefully next year I'm there a little more.
Nice. And then after Sewanee, you guys got the Chords for Callum at Highland, you said, this year, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tell the people like kind of what that's all about, the reason behind it.
Yeah, so my son Callum was diagnosed around a little bit before his second birthday with a rare genetic disability called STXBP1, and it's just named after the part of DNA where the mutation randomly happened. And so it's a rare disease. So the first thing you do when you get a diagnosis for that is look for a group of people who know about it. And
is it pretty, like, not a lot of...
I think there's 1,400 cases diagnosed right now, which is a lot more than when we got the diagnosis.
But that's still in the grand scheme of things, like, not a lot.
Yeah, and we found out about it because the test for it had just come out. Like, they came out with a genetic panel that included some more rare stuff, and we eventually found out about it that way.
Not to derail this, but isn't that wild that, like, for so long that was happening, and it was just like, we don't know.
Yeah. So it the kids either came, with they had a diagnosis of autism or global delay or just mentally disabled.
Does it always get picked up like around that age?
So it would be from birth.
Okay, he had
it from birth.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep. So
it just figured it out 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, we've learned a lot about the rare disease community. And so fortunately, there were enough cases, I think there were 500 or 600, maybe at the time that he was diagnosed. And there were enough cases that there was a foundation that had already been formed.
Okay.
Which is lucky for us because we've now met other, parents who their kid has an ultra rare diagnosis. They're one of 2 or 3 in the world. And they're like, they don't have a foundation. There's no one figuring this out except for them. So they're working to say, hey, like, let's bind together. Let's get some awareness out there for this.
That's got to be really cause you probably feel so alone, like in that, when you find that out.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah.
So, it's not like, another disease like, heart disease or something that already is named that a lot of people know about it. Most doctors you would mention this to have never even heard of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, what that gets down to is that thankfully we're involved with the STX BP1 Foundation, and what we're doing now is raising money and awareness to get STX BP1 basically in line for clinical trials for treatments and things like that. So the STX BP1 Foundation is raising money to basically convince their drug companies to develop treatments.
Okay.
And we're a big part of that. So what we do with Chords for Callum is just all about, hey, we're a family who's involved. This community for STX BP1 is working hard to make this happen. And we're actually seeing a lot of real-time progress. So there's like 20 therapies in development right now.
Awesome.
They started a clinical trial last year for a drug. And as you know, like in science right now, genetic gene editing, CRISPR, genetic treatments are becoming more of a reality.
Feasible, yeah.
Like right now. So we're basically just kind of hustling to keep this going and hopefully gain more momentum. And I think there is a really good chance that we could see a cure for this, in Callum's lifetime, if not while he's still young.
Awesome.
So yeah, we go up to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for a research study. We go every 6 months, and they just keep track of his progress and keep us informed on all the things
And
happening.
he's making good progress. I like videos of him walking
Yes.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Incredible progress. So last year when we did the benefit, it was to raise money for these intensive therapy programs that we go to. We went to one in Denver and we went to one in Charlotte last year. And it was right before the one in Charlotte where he started independently walking for the first time right after his 5th birthday. So that was like a huge milestone. We've been working towards that since he was 2 years old. So we put everything towards that. It finally happened. And now we don't need to raise as much money right now for his specific therapies like that. So we're focusing more this year on raising money for the foundation, who is going to put that money to work towards developing a cure, which will help all the kids. So that's kind of
So
what
the
we're
tickets
aimed
will
at.
go towards the foundation. Is there like a silent auction or something? I know last year there was.
Yeah. So all the money is going to go to the foundation this year. We've got the concert, which will be at Highland Brewing, Lindsay Lowe and Kyle Tuttle.
Sunday, March 29th.
Sunday, March 29th. Yep. Lindsay Lowe and Kyle Tuttle are kind of our headlining guests. And if you don't know them, they're an extremely amazing power couple, and both in their own right are two of my favorite musicians in the world. So extremely happy to jam with them. And then we've got the Fireside Trio, Carson,
Nice.
Jesse, and Tommy. And then Lindsay Pruitt, who is in my band, and then myself. We've got a pretty sick lineup of songs put together, and it's just going to be a really good time, very kid-friendly. And then we have the silent auction as well, which is totally online. So that's open to anyone in the world who wants to bid on that. You don't have to be at the event.
Nice.
And that'll run for, I think it's about a week leading up to the event. So we'll be promoting that online. And your listeners might be stoked to know that there are a lot of cool items on this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Billy String stuff.
Last year there was a Halloween pass.
There's a Hulu. Yeah, I can't say specifically, but there's passes to some really great shows. There's some tickets to events that are already sold out that your Billy Strings fans might be very interested in.
You sickos. Look it up.
But yeah, no, we got some killer posters too. This year is very poster heavy. We've got an autographed Trey Anastasio poster from last year's run at the Beacon Theater.
Okay.
And it's like one of 200. It's so people have really stepped up and just donated some of the coolest shit to this thing. So yeah, y'all keep an eye out for that. Follow it.
The link to the raffle and the tickets will be in the description to this episode. So check that out. Yeah.
Awesome. And so we're excited. All the legwork has been done, and of course my amazing wife Julianne is kind of spearheads this whole event, and she has been working really hard. And now we just get to kind of be excited for the day of. I think it's going to be a blast this year.
Yeah, it was a pretty good turnout at the Gray Eagle last year, right?
Yeah, we pretty much oversold the venue.
Nice.
So Highland Brewing, the Barrel Room has a little more capacity, and so we're hoping to
Will it be
kinda do the same
outside?
thing. No, it's indoor.
Okay.
Because April 29th or May 29th.
March
29th. March 29th. How it is around
Yeah.
here. It can still be pretty cold.
We got that
yeah.
false summer it was like 80 degrees on Thursday.
Dude.
Or Wednesday, something
That
like
was
that.
that was brutal because it was that day. I was like, oh man, you know what? It's almost a little too hot.
Yeah.
I'm not quite ready for this. And then the next day, no, back to freezing
It
rain.
snowed like an hour north.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I went up there for work and there was snow.
I
on
saw
the ground.
flurries coming down.
Yeah.
I'm just breathing through it. It's a roller coaster ride this year. So
And then you guys, I think you maybe just announced it, the Rhythm and Sales.
yeah.
So
yeah,
that's just
man,
vacation
yeah.
with you and your friends that you're going to have some people come pay you guys for?
Yeah, pretty much.
How do that's like when I see like the jam cruises and the stuff like that, it's like this is just vacation for these guys.
Yeah. So this one is particularly so. I mean, this is just like
It's like 6 of you guys. right?
cruising. Yeah, cruising around the Caribbean on catamaran yachts with a handful of guests and a handful of pickers, and you just jam and have fun. And it'll be my first time going, so I'm expecting it to be really great.
Have you done any of those like jam cruises or anything?
Yeah. The trio did Jam Cruise 2019. That was honestly, it was more chill than I thought it was going to be too.
Really?
It was like, I thought I was going to have cabin fever and, want to get away from the chaos, but it was just like a nice cruise with a bunch of nice people and great music going on at night. One of my best memories of that was I got to see, so Khruangbin hadn't quite blown up
Yeah.
yet. They had released their first album, and I'd never heard of them. And I was just kind of strolling around the boat on my own around sunset, and they started their sunset set at the pool deck. And I just sat there and watched the whole show by myself and watched the sun go down. And I was like, this is the best band I've ever heard in my life. So that was memorable. So yeah, and then Strings and Soul, that's another good one. That's down in Mexico. So that's, all these events, like when I go into them, I think they're going to be really over the top, but then it's just like relaxed.
I always have this image in my mind of jam cruises, just like a bunch of just like fucked up wooks just wilding out for
That's same here. But you know what? One of my main takeaways from that was
They get priced out.
yeah, a little bit. So yeah, anyone who can gather the wherewithal to get on one of those trips is kind of more of a pro. Like they party, but they're kind of pros.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing. They've got some, ability to make enough money to go on something like that. And then yeah, it's never as crazy as I expect it's going to be, even though it's super fun. I saw Frasco. That was my first time seeing Andy Frasco too,
Okay.
on Jam Cruise, and he tore it up that year. He probably tears it up every year, but
He's a hoot, dude. Yeah.
I totally fell in love with him on that trip. So yeah.
The Grand Caverns gig. Did you guys played there too, right?
Yeah, so we've done all the cavern gigs at this point. The original Volcano Room, where they used to do Bluegrass Underground, that was a really cool one. And then the caverns, where they now have the Bluegrass Underground, and they have the big festivals and stuff. That's great. But this one we just did, Grand Caverns, is outside of Harrisonburg, Virginia, and
In grottos, right?
in grottos. Yeah. So, dude, this is one of the coolest caves I've ever been in. Like it is a true cave, and some of the most amazing formations. They've got formations that only occur in that cave, like shields, these big round discs that just come out of the wall.
It's like a 10-minute walk to where you guys play too.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 10-minute walk down. So yeah, that was extremely special and totally awesome. I recommend that concert series to anyone who's wanting to do something. And the cool thing is they run it from like January 1st to like March, the first weekend of March. So it's a great wintertime gig, and something to do when the season's really not popping off yet. So
Do you guys play like unplugged when you play that?
So it is technically an unplugged show. I think everything really does sound the best, but since it was the trio and, we have the drum kit, I convinced him to let us bring one small speaker so that we could at least have our bass effects work. And it was great. It was really nice. But yeah, our like the fiddle and guitar were just acoustic. He was playing with brushes. And then when the bass kicked in, it was like coming out of the speaker. So it truly was a more intimate acoustic experience, and we loved it. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, I saw Kindle Street Company there, and they're like one of my favorite bands. And their shows are kind of like always a party.
Yeah,
and then to see them in a place like that, it's like everyone's seated, calm down. It was a really unique experience.
Yeah, and they were filming for PBS, so it might be part of a show that you can stream at least.
Yeah. Did you see the Derek Trucks guitar thing?
I did.
That's crazy.
I stayed up late last night watching Instagram clips. Yeah, that was totally cool.
$11 million for a guitar seems a little ridiculous to me.
11 million.
You might have. I mean, you probably have a more informative take than I have. But I saw that number and I was like, does Derek Trucks even have that much money?
Yeah. So Derek Trucks didn't buy it, right?
Oh no.
Okay. No, it was bought by a collector, like a guitar collection group, like an investment group, I think. I don't know exactly, but their whole deal is like they procure these instruments and they want to let musicians use them. So that's why Derek was playing.
I thought I was like, this dude has $11 million just spinning a guitar.
It's called like Family Guitars.
Okay.
And they're like I think I know that Derek didn't buy it.
Okay.
But I think this group, Family Guitars, bought it, and they own a lot of cool memorabilia and stuff and classic guitars that I think they bring them out and let artists play them at shows. And so that was at the Beacon Theater, right, where he played that. I'm pretty sure.
I think so, but
I think they're in like NYC maybe.
But they bought. I think it was bought like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was listening on NPR about that auction, and I was like, dang, they got the Tigers. They got Kurt Cobain's Mustang from the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. And then I heard that they were going to release the Kurt Vonnegut or Jack Kerouac on the Road manuscript. That's just this like continuous scroll.
Yeah, I think.
And did you see that Luke Combs bought it?
Is that who bought it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I mean, I'm not a big Luke Combs fan, but I mean, pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool thing of him.
That's
to
a cool
buy
thing to
for
have.
Millions of dollars. I mean, so yeah, that was an interesting thing. That whole auction thing.
Do you have any like special guitars in your collection?
Yeah. I mean, I've got one. I just got it out yesterday to record some instructional videos. So that's another thing I'm working on is an instructional video subscription service.
I'm in.
With
I have mine over there. I can't do anything on it.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. It's like my friend Bennett.
Good.
Yeah. My friend Bennett does this for banjo, and he's worked for a few different subscription sites over the years. And he's like, I'm just going to start my own. And he started it for banjo, and now he's bringing me on board as a guitar instructor. And so we've recorded hours of content now, and it'll be up on the site, and there'll be a subscription fee monthly, and we're pricing it pretty reasonably amongst the other things out there. And so
where will that be?
It'll be online.
Okay.
And
you'll advertise like through Instagram
it'll
or something?
all be advertised. Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll just be cool because I've had people ask me for lessons and stuff over the years, and it's pretty hard to coordinate sometimes. So I'll be able to now say, hey, look, we got this service going, and it takes it down to the basics. It's all about learning by ear, and there's like lots of video content. So anyway, it's a good chance for me to bust out my old guitars, and I got out my favorite guitar, which is my 1956 D18 that I played for about 20 years before I ever got a new one.
Dumb question from non-musician guy with the podcast. What is the like difference in different guitars, like different strings and like that? Like, can you like say I gave you like 3 guitars and one's $500, one's $5,000, one's like, can you immediately like tell as soon as you start playing it the difference in it, the quality?
Yeah, I would be able to tell.
Yeah. What is it that is like the difference in it?
So you've got, okay, first you've got the feel, right? So the feel would be how the guitar is set up, and that can be changed for every guitar. Like say all the guitars were set up the same. The setup would be like how high the action is, how high are the strings off the fretboard, how hard do you have to push? Is it low or is it high? If it's low, it's easy, but can be a little buzzy. If it's high, it's harder, but doesn't buzz.
Sounds better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tend to play with a little higher action. And most guitars, if they're set up right, then they can sound pretty good, no matter what it is. But then the differences in wood, you just have wood that can be more bright and like almost brash. And then you have wood that can be more mellow and dark.
So the wood will play a difference in the sound it makes?
Yeah, the wood makes a difference.
Okay.
And I can't say, it's hard to say. I've heard like rosewood is theoretically richer and fuller and a little bassier. Mahogany is a little more cutting and clear and high-endy. So there's just a lot of stuff like that. And then it comes down to your taste. Like, okay, sometimes I'll pick up a guitar and say like, this just sounds like mud, you know? Or I'll pick up a guitar and say, oh man, this is so bright and clear. Like the music just kind of jumps out of it. You don't even have to work very hard. So anyway, stuff like that. There's so many different ones out there, but in the world I'm in, it's mostly like Martin style dreadnought
That's
guitars.
I hear like those words a lot.
And I've got like a Thompson like Billy has, and then I have a pre-war guitar, which is a brand based here in North Carolina that Molly Tuttle plays and a lot of people. And they're all based off that like traditional Martin dreadnought shape, but then the different woods and even the different fret materials and things can make a difference. And picks are big too. Like there's a lot of new like boutique pick companies out there now making really, really great picks, way better than just the Dunlop you used to get from the music store. So yeah, I mean there's picks that range all the way from, $30 to $80 for one pick that
That's
you can
crazy.
get out there. But they're great.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big pick nerd and I've got tons of them, and my brother let me try one last night and I was like, I'm going straight home to order one of these. This is awesome. And it was like really thick and
So
big.
do you like rotate them between shows? Like whatever, I know last time we talked, you talked about warming up for 2 hours. Do you like run through a series of picks and be like, this is the one tonight?
Oh yeah. Like when we were getting ready for that show with the East Nashgrass people, I had my, I've got like one of these. It's full totally full of picks. What, it sounds like picks. This isn't picks?
Nope, it's candy.
And so I had all my picks out. I had like 20 picks out, and I was just like trying different ones during the songs we were working on. And Harry started trying them too. I was like, bro, you got to try this one. It's like, and then he let me try some because he's the same way. He's like, look at these. And I'm like, okay. And then by the time the show starts, I'll usually figure out, okay, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to use the same one I always use. I like it the best. And then I'll keep like 2 in my pick pocket of my jeans, in case I drop one. But yeah, that's picks can bring out totally different tones in your guitar. And like it can be really thin and it can be really easy to play with, but not super loud, or it can be really thick, a little harder to play with, but then it brings out a lot of tone. So, it's another constant battle. The amount of point that's on it, sometimes really point. I like them more on the pointy side. Other people like them really rounded off. So yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't know there was like this pick economy in guitar.
Yeah, there's a pick economy for sure.
What about the pedals too? Is that just like a whole bunch of trial and error to figure out what you like?
Yeah. So me personally, the main thing that I work on with my pedals is trying to get the tone that I hear when say we're in this room just playing guitar acoustically. I love the way my guitar sounds. Then you plug it into the pickup and into the pedal board and have to blast it out through the speakers and hear it through the monitors. That sound is never as good as the natural acoustic tone. So the main thing I struggle with constantly is trying to get that amplified sound to sound close to as good as the sound that I hear acoustically.
Yeah.
And so that's a roller coaster ride because you've got different types of pickups, you've got different types of direct boxes that process the sound in different ways. And so that's the main thing that I really work on with pedals. And then you have effects. So the main effect that we rely on the most in the trio is our synthesized bass. So we have a separate DI that has the bass effect on it that we go in between our regular DI and our bass DI.
And that's because there's no bass in the band.
There's no bass in the band. Yeah. So when I click on that bass DI, it has the effect on it, and it's basically like a bass. And then I switch back to my guitar tone, which is just like a guitar. So that bass effect is what we lean on the most. And then other than that, you know, we don't use a lot of effects, but the effects that we use a lot. So the main ones would be like a delay, a reverb, and a drive. So like the drive gives you that like a little bit of crunchy distortion, makes it a little like angrier, like rocking. And between those effects, I can get most of what I do done. Then of course you always want to add more, but I keep it pretty minimal as far as that stuff goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier too being on Jam Cruise and seeing Khruangbin, and it was like one of your favorite shows. What's another like type of music or a specific artist that you were into that's not of the bluegrass world? I know last time we spoke, you kind of mentioned that you had some like punk influences growing up.
Yeah.
But like now today, like who are you listening to that's out of the world of bluegrass?
Bob Marley.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and my kids, dude, we have a little Bluetooth speaker. We go on walks all around the neighborhood, and we're at the beach. I have a wagon that I push Callum in, and we just listen to only Bob Marley.
Really?
Yeah. And we listen
Is
to
that
mainly,
a you thing, or is like a kid? The kids want Bob Marley.
you know, they love it. They
Yeah.
ask for it, and I play it on my guitar for them too. And then like I was like, Desi, what do you want me to play last night? And he said Bob Marley. And I'm like, okay, great. Or I'll be like, Desi, what do you want me to like sing while you're going to sleep? I said, Bob Marley. And yeah, so they like it, and we have mainly just been listening to one album, Uprising, which has like Coming In From the Cold and Could You Be Loved on there. And I don't know, man. We branch out a little bit, but we always come back to Bob Marley Uprising. It's been going on for about a year now.
I feel like there's kind of like a new, like punk rock revival kind of happening too right now with some of these like newer bands. Any of those that you're listening to?
Newer punk bands?
I don't even know if it's like punk really.
Yeah.
It's like rock. Like you think like that Geese band, and then there's like
Yeah.
Emil and the Sniffers, like Wet Legs, some of these like lady-led hardcore bands.
No, dude, I'm a big fan of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really dived in. I really want to sit down and listen to that Geese record. I've been meaning to do that on my like last couple drives. Because just so many people who I really respect have said like this is one of the best albums ever, and I'm like, okay,
See,
well,
it's good.
I'll
like
have to check it out.
It's good. I like it. I think it's a stretch. Some of people are telling me like, oh, rock and roll is back, like best album ever. I like it, but it's not like this ground. Like I don't know. That's my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to. I got really more into some, metal and stuff over the pandemic. I think it was just the rage feeling, and I was like picked up running, so I was running to like this really like heavy Scandinavian like death metal and stuff. But yeah, growing up, my favorite bands were NoFX, Hot Water Music, and they're still around. I guess NoFX just played their last show, but
There's a new band in Austin called Die Spitz is what they're
oh
called.
yeah, I've seen them online.
They're sick, dude. I heard them the
look
other
very
day,
sick.
and then I was like, "This is all chicks." They're playing at I think they're playing at the Orange Peel in like October, November.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to see Turnstile when they came, and I went by myself, and I really liked their records that they've been putting out, and I like
listening to
rocking. I like rocking shit.
I grew up in like Virginia Beach area, and like the straight edge like hardcore scene is pretty
Nice.
big there.
Yeah.
And when I was a freshman, I like became friends with this dude as a senior, and he was real into like straight edge hardcore. And we were listening to Turnstile when I was like 15, and then now he's like, I was talking the other day because I was listening to a band called Have Heart, and I was like, where do they rank on your like hardcore Mount Rushmore? And he was like, they're the top that's not selling out. And I was like, who sold out? And he was like, Turnstile.
Yeah, I know. They're getting a lot of hate for that.
He was like, the music's still objectively good, but they definitely sold out.
Yeah.
I guess two things can be true.
Yeah, that song "Seeing Stars" is a little much.
Which, by Turnstile? I have to think of it. I listened to it.
It's the one that I like tell my wife, my wife's friends. I'm like, yeah, I went to see Turnstile, and they're like, oh, that song "Seeing Stars" comes on my mix a lot. And it's like it's very mellow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not super rocking.
There was people in front of us at that concert, and the girlfriend was like clearly into it. The boyfriend just like tagged along. And he was like, so what's the deal with these guys? And the girl was like, they're like our generation's Blink-182.
At Turnstile?
Yeah. I was
Nice.
just like, okay, whatever. You can.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a good melody?
Yeah,
right?
it's fun. And
it
they get
also-
into
and
it.
it
like,
rocks, and yeah, it's fun, dude.
It's a blast.
And the album, I think, is really entertaining to listen to because those like trippy interludes and stuff. It's like my son loves my 3-year-old son loves Turnstile.
The one before the last album, that's like a perfect album to me.
That Glow On,
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
like
Blackout,
Alien Love Call.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, that one's like a perfect album.
That's the one that hooked me in it, and personally, I still like that one a little better too.
Yeah, same. That one's really good. All right, John, before we wrap up, we just talked about, I was asked my friend like his like, top 3 hardcore whatever. What's your like Mount Rushmore of like bluegrass musicians?
Like currently, like
All
that
time.
are all time.
Yeah.
Tony Rice is probably the top because of so many reasons, but one of them being that he had such a great career and recorded music with so many other of my Mount Rushmore people.
Yeah.
So there's throughout the years, like Jerry Douglas, he's on like 20 different Tony Rice records, and like so it's a community, it's a feeling, and each different album is a group of people in a certain time. And Tony Rice wasn't just my favorite guitarist and singer. He also was an incredible record producer. So that
One
I'd
easy.
say number 1 easy. David Grisman,
Okay.
close second. Like maybe should be in number 1. Hard to say.
I think last time we talked about you like being friends with Sam, and you're like, it's so hard not to just ask about his dad.
yeah. No, and thankfully he's cool with that. But I was asking Sam about like random guitarists that played with his dad in like the early 90s. Whatever happened to that guy? And Grisman is very tied to Tony because Grisman's the one who brought Tony out to play this new form of music. From Tony had been a bluegrass musician, J.D. Crowe, and he said, "Hey man, move out to the West Coast with me. We're making something up that's new. It's got gypsy jazz, it's like bluegrass, it's like swing." And that became Dog Music, and so Tony was a foundational member of that. And then Tony left Dog and took that energy with him and did all that other stuff. So those two, top 2 for sure. And then third, probably Bela.
Okay. Nice.
Probably Bela because the same connections, like he came up in bluegrass from New York, and then was in Newgrass Revival with Sam Bush, he's probably my number 4, and then started the Flecktones, totally game-changing band, and became popular through that, like opened for Dave Matthews Band, and then did these incredible projects where he put he did the Bluegrass Tales from the Acoustic Planet Volume 1, brought in all my heroes to make that record, and then Tales from the Acoustic Planet Volume 2, the Bluegrass Sessions, brought in Tony Rice, brought in Sam Bush, and I'd say Tales from the Acoustic Planet Volume 2, the Bluegrass Sessions, might be my favorite record of all time. So there you go.
Okay. So it was Tony Rice, David Grisman, Bela Fleck, Sam Bush.
Yeah.
It's a solid
yeah.
lineup. Yeah.
Yep. I can stand behind that for sure.
Cool, man. Well, John, again, this has been a blast. Before we wrap up, I know Chords for Callum, March 29th. Tickets, link to the raffle in the description. Is there anything else that you want to plug before we get you out of here?
No, just thank everyone for your support. Keep following the trio and Jon Stickley and Larry Keel projects. And, of course, Chords for Callum. That is going to be a great vibe. And if you can't make it to the show, check out the silent auction. I want a lot of the stuff on the silent auction, so you're going to have to bid against me.
Thanks so much, John.
You just got jammed.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back from that interview
We're
with
back.
Jon Stickley. In the comments section, tell us your Mount Rushmore of bluegrass musicians. What's yours?
Oh boy, I don't think I have the knowledge to be able to speak on it.
No?
No.
Mine would be Billy Strings, Doc Watson, John Hartford.
Mine would be Billy, Doc Watson. Bluegrass Betty.
Blue Ridge Betty.
Blue Ridge Betty, that's what it is.
It is funny how, probably if you, someone like Jon Stickley has loved bluegrass way before Billy Strings. And then someone like me who, got into bluegrass because of Billy Strings. Obviously, Billy Strings would be on mine.
Mm-hmm.
But then someone else probably be like, that's crazy to put him on there.
Yeah, I guess so.
But mine would be him, Billy, Doc Watson, John Hartford. And then my fourth one would be Jeff Austin.
I was going to say the guy from Pickety Split.
Cooper.
Yeah,
I don't know. But comment yours. So,
bracket review time. Okay, so in the covers category, this is where we end up. I'll just run through them. All Fall Down beat Lumpy Bean Pullin' Dirt. All Time Low beat Red Rocking Chair. That was an upset.
I put Red Rocking Chair at a 2 because I was like, you have to have a traditional bluegrass song in the Billy Strings covers.
Yeah.
And I feel but I guess people really like Reuben's Train and Shady Grove, but for me, Red Rocking Chair is my favorite. So that was just a bias thing.
Old Slewfoot beat Steam Powered Airplane. I'm excited about that one, even though I like Steam Powered Airplane. I love Old Slewfoot. Pretty Daughter beat Nutshell. Thunder beat New Country Blues. Shady Grove beat Ride Me High. That's surprising.
I think it was close, too.
Yeah. Reuben's Train beat Psycho. And Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald beat 15 Steps.
So you're bummed to see 15 Steps go, right?
I am bummed to see 15
And I was
Steps
bummed to see
go.
New Country Blues go. And yes, if you weren't here for Thursday's episode, we do now know that Thunder technically might not be a cover.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sue us.
Highway Prayers went about how we expected. Go to Lily beat In April 4. My Alice beat Gone a Long Time. In the Clear beat Cabin Song. Stratosphere Blues beat Malfunction Junction, which is very close.
I surprised, yeah.
Richard Petty
See? Told him. I told him. He tried to take it out. I
beat
said
Leaning
no.
on the Traveling Song. Beginning of the End beat Leadfoot. Happy Hollow beat Don't Be Calling Me. 7 Weeks in County beat Be Your Man.
Yep. Yeah, that one I do think for the most part went how we... I think, honestly, these last two went exactly how... Oops.
No, there were some really close ones on here.
Thank you.
I don't think they can see it on the video, but
but it's for the
if you want to
aesthetic.
follow around,
if you want to follow,
if you want to follow along, maybe go to the Instagram.
So on the renewal album, Heartbeat of America beat Ice Bridges, Know It All beat Nothing's Working, Red Daisy beat Hellbender, Hide and Seek beat Running the Route. We had our own little discussion. I can't ever figure out if it's route or route.
In the Morning Light beat Fireline by 2 votes.
That's fire. I love In the Morning Light, but I have been listening to Fireline recently, and it is a very fun one.
Yeah.
Show Me the Door beat Leaders. Secrets beat Fire on My Tongue.
Well,
and
go ahead, finish.
And okay, yeah. And Love and Regret beat This Old World.
Secrets and Fire on My Tongue tied.
With 176 votes each.
Yeah. So me
we
and Chloe
picked Secrets.
put our vote in, and we voted Secrets.
Yeah, we listened to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a unanimous
There's some
decision.
really good matchups here because again we did the seating wrong, but Heartbeat of America, Red Daisy, and Hide and Seek, that might be the winner coming out of that one.
Hide and Seek.
Between Red Daisy and Hide and Seek, whichever
Whoever
one,
beats that is gonna be pull ahead.
I think so.
I think that's probably a
Or
fair.
In the Morning Light. People really like that song.
People like to get lovey.
Mm-hmm.
With your friends, whether you're with your baby. People like to get lovey.
Yeah.
And then in Home and Turmoil and Tinfoil, Meet Me at the Creek beat Highway Hypnosis. Away from the Mire beat Pyramid Country. Watch It Fall beat Living Like an Animal. Taking Water beat Everything's the Same. Doing Things Right beat Freedom. I have been loving Doing Things Right recently since he played it in Asheville. This has been like one of my top songs. I want to see this pull away. But it's going to go against Turmoil and Tinfoil because they beat Love Like Me. They, as if Turmoil and Tinfoil are people. Long Forgotten Dream beat Home. Kind of a surprising one. And then Dealing Despair beat On the Line.
Yeah. There were some really close ones in there, too.
What do you think are going to be the closest
on the next round?
Mm-hmm.
In the Morning Light and Show Me the Door, I think will be pretty split. I think All Fall Down and All Time Low will be pretty split because you have the like bluegrass fans and the widespread fans. And then
Secrets and Love and Regret, maybe.
Could
Meet
be.
Me at the Creek and Away from the Mire is an aggressive matchup.
Well, because we did it wrong. Remember, like it was supposed to be twos at the bottom, but
yeah.
So.
But that is gonna. I definitely think Meet Me at the Creek's gonna pull away, but I think it's fun. It's against Away from the Mire. Honestly, Doing Things Right against Turmoil and Tinfoil is awesome. I think we got like pretty fun matchups.
Yeah.
All Slewfoot versus.
Give me your
Daughter.
final four. So which one comes out of each region?
What I think or what I wish?
Let's do what you wish.
What I wish. Old Slewfoot, Gild the Lily. It might be Secrets.
Really?
I kind of been liking Secrets recently. Or Know It All. I'm a bit stuck on Renewal. And then here, I think it's got to be Meet Me at the Creek.
Yeah.
But I think Doing Things Right for me, I would like to see it go up to the end.
For me, mine would be All Fall Down, Gild the Lily, Hide and Seek, or Heartbeat America, maybe.
I have been liking Hide and Seek
And then-
recently too.
I want to say Meet Me at the Creek, but like I do love Away from the Mire.
Yeah. Honestly, Away from the
I do
Mire is
love
kind
that
of your
song.
song at the moment. Dealing Despair is fun every time I see it. I
Mhm.
do fucking love Doing Things Right. There's something about it that's like tickling an itch for me.
It's a fun one,
I
yeah.
was listening to it in the gym today, and I played it twice.
Same with Everything's the Same. I like that one too.
Yeah, just like when it comes on, it's just good.
What else do you have? Is there anything else going on this week? Anything that happened this week?
Honestly, I have no clue.
You already talked about the Billy String King Giz album, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is pretty. It's.
I'm
confirmed
stoked for
now.
Dogs. 2 nights.
I'm very excited.
3
for Dogs
nights,
and Pals.
really.
3 nights, technically. I think we're gonna be exhausted, and then we get back Sunday, go to Chords for Callum, and then I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. I work as well, and then I'm gonna do all the podcast stuff.
It'll be a long week, but it'll be worth it. I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Alrighty, guys. Well, yeah, that's it for us. We hope you guys have had a great weekend. And you know what? Kick this week's ass.
Amen.
Yeah, it's Monday. Make the best of it. Maybe it's Tuesday. You got another chance. Maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe it's Friday.
Maybe it's Saturday.
But whatever day it is, you guys just go kick today's ass.
You got it.
And we'll see you again on Thursday with a brand new episode. Come find us this weekend at Mental Awakening if you're
yes.
there.
Find us at Dogs in a Pile both nights. Find us at, well, we haven't bought tickets. But
Yeah,
I
we'll
assume
talk
be
to you
there.
again on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if you could, yeah.
But come find us.
Come find us.
We're out and about.
Have a great week, guys. We'll see you again on Thursday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.